Today on Judge Faith, a Sunday fun day ends in a bloody brawl.
I go to stand up and leave because this is insane. I get up and turn around, and then I get hit in the face with a hammer.
He has jumped on my balcony, went in my apartment. They're fighting again. And this time, it's getting worse because blood's on my white leather.
Is this all made up? Is there any truth to what he just said?
And later, two drivers' destinies collide at a dangerous intersection.
She said she was at fault. She admitted it. She done changed a whole different story since we got to court.
When the ambulance came, they told him he was fine, that he did not have to go to the doctor.
Can you tell me about your background and experience in the medical field that would qualify you to make that statement?
Plaintiff Dominique Allen says the defendant's out-of-control behavior caused him to be evicted from his apartment. He's suing for a damaged door and pain and suffering. Defendant Stephen Neilwash says he doesn't know because Dominique's neighbors started the fight and he was only defending himself. He's countersuing for his cell phone, lost wages, medical bills, and pain and suffering.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Allen versus Neilwash.
Thank you, Juan. Dominique Allen,
Yes, ma'am.
you are suing the defendant, Stephen Neilwash, for $2,900 for the cost of a damaged door and pain and suffering?
Correct.
And you are countersuing, sir, for $3,819 for the replacement of a cell phone, lost wages, medical bills, and pain and suffering?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, why don't we start from the very beginning, Mr. Allen? Tell me what's going on here.
Okay, well, first, I met Stephen through a mutual friend. Seemed like a nice guy, you know, seemed like he had his head on right. He had some goals, and so we got along. He came over to my place one day, inebriated, because I guess him and some other friends were hanging out before they actually made it to my house.
Was this the day of the incident?
Yes.
Okay, prior to that, how many times have the two of you been hanging out?
Maybe twice.
How did the two of you meet?
We met at a gas station through one of my old friends who I knew from when I was younger. He was there with Dominic. I then found out later on that apparently this was Dominic's nephew or something of the sort. And at that point, I let him know I was a physical therapist. He said, oh, do you do private massage on the side? I said, you know, from time to time, maybe. After that, we had exchanged phone numbers, and he continuously contacted me trying to get private massages. At that point, I had to let him know I am not a massage therapist, and that's not the type of work that I generally do. Please cease contact.
So how do you end up at his house on this day in question?
I was actually out in my area, and I had seen a couple of people around my age who I've seen beforehand, male and female around my age. They said, hey, you want to hang out, et cetera, et cetera. I was like, okay, sure.
You saw them where?
Actually in the same area, over by the gas station.
Because they're around your age and decide that you're just going to hang out with them that day?
Trying to make new friends, yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and they end up taking you to the plaintiff's house?
Yes, which I wasn't aware where we were going. So we end up there and we walk in and I go, oh.
That's a coincidence, you think?
Yeah.
Had you been to his house before?
No.
It's not true.
This was the same gas station
true.
where you met the plaintiff?
Yes.
As you claim? Sounds like a pretty social gas station.
Yeah, apparently so, Your Honor.
I just want to make sure I understand this.
If it was the truth, he might.
What do you say the truth is?
The truth is, he had come over my house before with a friend of mine who I refer to as a nephew. That's how I initially met him.
What happens when they come in the apartment, sir? What happens?
So we're all sitting down, having a good time, having a couple of drinks, and he's smooching up on my friend's girlfriend.
What do you mean by smooching? Kissing?
Like trying to, get her. Trying to
come on to her.
Yeah.
Were you doing that?
Here's what the situation was. The guy's gone just a few minutes, and Dominic goes to me, oh, are you trying to get on that? Wait, what? Oh, yeah, right there. He's gonna be gone for a little bit. It's $120. Are you trying to get on that right there? I'm thinking this is some kind of joke because I don't know these people, okay?
He's trying to pimp out this woman to you while her boyfriend's at the store.
Yes, Your
Did you do that?
No, ma'am. Absolutely not.
Do you know
now,
is this all made up?
Yeah, that's made up.
Is there any truth to what he just said?
No.
What happened? Why did you bring this lawsuit? Tell me what happened in the apartment that night.
Now, it got kind of late. And I was like, well, guys, I want to go to sleep. So it's time to go. He comes back because he couldn't find his phone.
Did you let him in?
Yeah. So when he was following me to my room, I said, no, dude, have a seat. I'll take care of it. I come out the room. Him and my other guests are at it, fighting. They were in a full-fledged fight. I got him out of the house, closed the door, locked the door, okay? So we're sitting down maybe another 10 minutes. And all of a sudden, I just hear this clump onto my balcony. He has jumped on my balcony, went in my apartment. By the time I get in there, they're fighting again. And this time, it's getting worse because blood's on my white leather and stuff like that.
Coming up, it's hammer time.
I go, did you just hit me with the hammer? And he's standing there like,
Looks like hammer marks to me.
And it wasn't me.
I didn't say it was you, but someone did.
And later, sudden stop or senior moment.
The airbags went off. When I come to, I heard everybody saying, get out the car, get out the car, get out the car.
And quickly turns into this opposite lane right here.
Well, are you saying he went through a red light?
Absolutely.
Plaintiff Dominique Allen says Stephen caused him to be evicted from his apartment. He's suing for a damaged door and pain and suffering. Defendant Stephen Neil Wash says he doesn't know because after he was hit with a hammer, he was no longer thinking clearly. He's countersuing for his cell phone, lost wages, medical bills, and pain and suffering.
So I'm trying to pull him up, but this time, I guess he just took a can of spinach and he just seemed
Your Honor.
so heavy. So then we got him out. We pushed him out.
Okay,
Again.
you get him out a second time. What do you say happened here?
So coming back to the situation with the male and the female and the pimping that was going on.
You all left,
Okay.
right?
We were still there.
Okay.
So what ended up happening was the guy starts screaming at Dominic.
Okay.
Then they start yelling back and forth at each other. After a few minutes, Dominic turns around verbatim and goes, you know what? I'm gonna blow you out the water. I pay you to have sex with you, so you got no place to speak. At that point, the girlfriend starts freaking out and goes, what, my boyfriend's gay? Yes, Dominic said that he was having sex with the other individual for pay. Okay? So at this point, now they've all gotten into this big crazy mess where they're screaming and yelling all this. I go to stand up and leave because this is insane. That point is when Dominic had told me, sit down. This is true to Dominic's story.
What happened?
I end up getting up, I go to leave, Dominic tells me again to sit down. I said, you guys are insane, I'm leaving. Boom, I get hit. And then I get hit several more times in the back, but then I get another one of these blacking out hits to my head. I get up and turn around, and then I get hit in the face with a hammer by Dominic, who's holding it. And at that point, I look at him because he didn't drop me with the hammer hit, and I go, did you just hit me with the hammer?
Did you or anyone else hit him with the hammer?
No, I did not hit him. I did not fight him.
Did anyone else hit him with the hammer?
Him and I had no issues.
Let me see the photos.
Okay, that's where I got hit in the face with a hammer. And then there was multiple hits to the back, and you can't see the ones on the back of my head because of my hair.
Looks like hammer marks to me. So someone hit him in the back with a hammer.
And it wasn't me.
I didn't say it was you, but someone did.
It only would have had to be the guy that he was fighting with.
Did you witness that?
I didn't witness them. I witnessed them fighting.
Did you break into, excuse me,
No.
Spider-Man? I mean, I'm sorry, Mr.
No, he's
Neil Wash.
Spider-Man.
Did you jump onto the second floor balcony?
I don't know how, but I was on the balcony. I had a concussion after being hit with a hammer multiple times, Your Honor.
You're saying that he was the reason why you had to be evicted, this incident, because the police showed up?
Correct.
Okay,
And if you look on that-
here's what your eviction paperwork says. Numerous tenants have complained about you fighting with them, sir. You.
No.
In general, they find that you
Well-
have intimidated other residents to the point that they cannot have unfettered, peaceful enjoyment of the premises.
And
so
the
clearly,
reason- let me say this.
No, I don't want you to talk anymore. Clearly, this incident was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Right.
For your
Right.
landlord, and
Right.
that's the reason why you were evicted. Not because of just what happened here.
Well, no. Because
No, you gotta stop talking. You gotta stop talking. And I'm gonna tell you right now, both of you have told me some tales in here today, and I don't know who to believe. What is your counterclaim about?
I had to go to work as a physical therapist, all beat up. I had to get treatment on myself. I had a black eye dealing with my patients. So, I mean, if you want to talk about, stress and all these other types of things, emotional hardship.
You want to countersue for lost wages, medical bills, and pain and suffering.
The lost
With all those tales you told me
The
today?
lost wages were because I was incarcerated.
You're suing for $400 for the door, but really the crux of your case is $2,500 in pain and suffering. I don't feel that you've met your burden for that. You're countersuing for cell phone, lost wages, medical bills, and pain and suffering. You haven't met your burden for that either. As a result, I will not make a decision, and I can't make a decision based on testimony that I think is not forthcoming and based on evidence that I think has not been presented properly in this case. Both of your cases are dismissed.
I will not be randomly going to anyone's houses anymore, especially if I don't know them in any way, shape, or form.
I want to say Stephen needs to take his responsibility and fix that door. He knows he broke it, and he should take responsibility.
Plaintiff Dominic Matoyer says when the defendant crashed into his car, both airbags deployed and hit him in his chest, causing him to black out. He's suing for car damage and pain and suffering. Defendant Kalila Ely says she doesn't owe any money because Dominic was speeding to beat a yellow light and the accident was his fault. She's countersuing for damages and a car rental fee.
Dominic Matoyer?
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing the defendant Kalila Ely?
Yes, ma'am.
For $5,000, $3,360 for damages to your car you say she caused in an accident?
Yes, sir.
And also $1,640 in pain and suffering?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're countersuing, ma'am, for $7,539 for damages to your car and rental car fees?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll start with you, Mr. Matoyer. Why don't you tell me what happened here?
Okay, on August 11th at 11:30 a.m., I had an accident with Miss Kayla. She made a left turn, and I hit her. I wasn't going but like 25 miles an hour, but she stopped right in the middle of her turn. She just panicked. That's what she told me.
And what happened?
And she stopped, and I hit her broad on the right side. And the airbags went off, and it knocked me out. And when I come to, I heard everybody saying, get out the car, get out the car, get out the car.
So the airbags went
Both of them deployed.
They deployed, they hit you and sort of knocked you unconscious?
Yeah, they hit me in the chest and in the head, and then knocked me back, and I was just blacked out for a minute.
Okay, what kind of injuries did you
I had
suffer?
my chest, and my head was hurting, and my neck.
Were you there? Did the police respond, and were you there for
No,
that?
they didn't come. They didn't come.
Oh, did you
See,
go to the
I left
hospital?
with the ambulance.
Okay, you left. Okay, why don't you tell me what happened?
Yes, ma'am. I was traveling northbound on Normandy.
Do we
Approaching
have a map
80
of this location? Can we pull it up, please? Why don't you walk over and just point to me, tell me what happened as you testify.
So I am believing I'm traveling here. This is northbound, and then I had
You're
to
traveling
stop
that
here
direction,
to make
okay.
a left. And so as I'm waiting, the light has turned yellow by this time.
The light that you're looking at is turning yellow?
Yes, ma'am.
You were turning this way,
I'm turning,
correct?
yes, turning left.
And he's coming down this street, this direction,
Yes,
correct?
he's traveling southbound.
So did you see him before you turned?
Not at all.
Okay. So what happens when you make the turn?
So as I'm inching and I'm inching, I didn't see anything. And as I'm coming out finally, and he's coming from right behind this truck, and he quickly turns into this opposite lane right here.
You mean he switches lanes?
Switches lanes. And then that's when he's trying to go through the actual intersection. And
Well,
at that
are you
time,
saying he went through a red light?
By that time, it had turned red, absolutely.
So you're saying he ran a red light?
Absolutely.
And, okay.
And he was doing way over the speed limit.
Thank you. Do you have
Yes.
a police report that were you ticketed at all, sir?
No, ma'am.
Did the police respond while you were there?
No, I waited for about 2 hours.
Okay, so they didn't show up, and what do you want to say, sir?
She's lying, Your Honor. Your Honor,
Mr.
may I go to the diagram? May I show you? what
Yes,
happened?
please.
Coming up on Judge Faye, covered or caught?
Did you have insurance at the time?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
No, you did.
Why do you say she didn't?
Plaintiff Dominic Matoyer says Kalila crashed into his car. He's suing for damages and pain and suffering. Defendant Kalila Ely says the accident was not her fault. She's countersuing for damages and a rental car fee.
Okay, this is her coming this way. There's a truck here.
Well,
There's-
actually, no. You're coming the way
oh, this where I'm at here.
No.
Okay.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me just step down here. All right, so as I understand it, you're traveling on what street?
I'm on Normandy.
So you're coming down Normandy this way. This is you.
Okay.
Coming down Normandy, about to go
Okay.
through the intersection. She is coming here and about to make a left turn on the 83rd. So why don't you go from there?
Okay, there was a truck in this lane. She cuts in front of this truck. The light was green, And when she cuts in front of the truck, she sees me and she panics. She tells me.
Did you say that to him?
I panicked, meaning when I saw him coming, I pressed the gas to get out of the way.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
She hit the brakes, Shauna. Okay? When she saw me, it was 10 feet apart. And I hit her because I didn't have enough distance to stop.
Thank you, sir. You can step back over to the lectern. What was your conversation with her at the scene?
Okay, at the scene, like I said, she was concerned.
What did she say about the accident?
She said she was at fault. She admitted it. She done changed a whole different story since we got to court.
What exactly did she say?
She was so concerned, right? I said, do you have insurance? She said, yeah, I got insurance, and here's my number. She gave me this number, and the number was not right.
Did you have insurance at the time?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
No, you didn't.
Why do you say she didn't?
The lawyer, ma'am.
Here's what I want to know. Did you ever contact the insurance agency
Yes,
for
I did.
this car to try to get covered? And what
Absolutely.
happened?
What happened with my insurance is on that day, they switched my insurance over, and I have that also. They switched my insurance over that moment to a better deal that they told me I can get, and that is what they gave me at the time.
Actually, I'm not sure that you actually had insurance at the time of this accident. He may be right, because according to this letter, they denied coverage for you because they said at the date of this accident, it occurred outside of your policy period.
Yes. And if you see there, they said my policy kicked in at 12:29 and the accident happened at 12 o'clock.
11:30.
On there, this is from my insurance company directly. And
okay, so this is from your insurance company
Yes.
directly. So, ma'am, when I ask you, did you have insurance at the time,
Yes.
the answer is no.
Well,
the answer is no.
Okay.
You did not. What injuries do you say you suffered, sir? You're suing for pain and suffering?
I had to have a heart valve replaced because I'm thinking the impact that clotted my heart valve. And the blood went to my spine and paralyzed my spine. I was at Cedars Hospital for 50 days. I had 2 operations, a heart valve and a spine.
This was prior to the accident,
Yes.
right? Okay, and you're saying that because of this accident, it aggravated the injury?
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
We were going to court on that until we found out she didn't have insurance.
And Judge, can I say something? When the ambulance came, they told him he was fine, that he did not have to go to the doctor, but he insisted to go.
Okay, and you say he was in pretty good condition. Can
Yeah,
you tell me about
I'm
your
the one
background and experience in the medical field that would qualify you to
not
make
at
that
all.
statement?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Because I mean, I would understand if I had open heart surgery, which is what happens when you have a heart valve replacement and an airbag has been deployed. I wouldn't want to go to the hospital to get somebody to just take a second look and make sure. So what you just discussed is really a non-issue for me.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
I am not going to award you the amount you're asking for in terms of damages because the car just isn't worth that much. For your pain and suffering, I'm also going to order the defendant to pay you an additional $500 because I can understand how that experience would cause you pain and suffering after just having open heart surgery. Your counterclaim is dismissed. One, you did not have insurance at the time of the accident. I'm not going to award damages to a person who drives with no insurance. That's the risk and the chance you take if you don't have insurance. 2, I do find you liable for the accident. So for those reasons, your counterclaim is dismissed. Judgment for the plaintiff, $2,191. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Holy Spirit didn't tell her to say what she said. That's all I got to say to her. I pray for her.
The judge's ruling was fair and decent. I understand what she said about the insurance issue, but I do not feel that I was at fault.
A dentist brings her contractor to court over a botched bathroom.
I was on parole for robbery, Your Honor. And when I did get out of jail, Miss Allen was one of the first people I called that day.
But it was 3 months later, sir. Why haven't you given her any of her money back?
There were personal issues at hand that I don't care to discuss.
One night when I called late at night about 10:30, I asked could I have the contractor's phone number. She said, oh, well, he's right here. I said, 10:30 at night, he's an arm's length distance to you? She said, oh, he's right
here.
here.
At my house, you're right, he was.
She assured me I could get my job completed without him. Not to worry, it was to go on with no problem.
I did not spend her money.
Clearly, the two of you entered into a verbal agreement. That's just as legally binding as if it were a written agreement. There was a contract in place. The question is, who breached?
Plaintiff Margaret Allen says the defendant agreed to exchange dental services for a bathroom remodel, but never finished the work because he was arrested. She's suing for a refund on a construction job. Defendant John Scott says he doesn't know because he used the money for materials, and he planned to finish the renovation when he was released from jail. He's countersuing for emotional distress. He's accompanied in court today by Heather Scott.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Allen versus Scott.
Thank you, Juan. Dr. Margaret Allen,
Yes.
you are suing the defendant, John Scott,
Yes.
for $4,000 for a refund for a construction job that he was supposed to do for you?
Yes.
And you are countersuing, sir, for $4,000 for emotional distress?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll start with you, Dr. Allen. Tell me what's going on here.
I first met the defendant's wife, Heather, back in October of 2013. Everything went well with all her dental procedures and everything. John came in October of 2014 where he had a few dental problems. And John overheard my dental assistant and I talking about how I was getting my master bathroom renovated. John says, well, Dr. Allen, I think I can help you. I need a lot of dental work done. I can do your master bathroom for you. We can exchange services. If you provide me with my dental treatment, I will provide you with labor for your bathroom renovation. Now, you would be responsible for supplies, but I'll provide all the manpower and labor.
Well, how much dental work did he need in terms of costs?
John needed a total of $23,000 worth of dental work.
You wanted him to remodel just one bathroom?
Just one bathroom.
In your home, and how much would that cost?
It's my master bathroom. It's pretty big. It would have been like $45,000 to redo my master bathroom.
So that's the barter
That's
two
the barter.
of you entered
but
into.
I was giving the money for the supplies. He was just providing the labor.
Are you a contractor?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, and was that the agreement between the two of you?
Yes, Your Honor.
What work did you get done on your teeth?
There was a total of 2 teeth pulled, and she did a bone graft on the bottom. She did a root canal, and she had got it ready for a crown.
Okay, so, and you didn't pay any money for that?
No, ma'am.
Okay, because the agreement was you would start construction on the home. Okay, did he start that process?
He came in to take a look at the bathroom, get some measurements, and we kind of discussed the plans, what I wanted in the bathroom and what he could do and what I was going to buy personally. Like I wanted a new tub, new shower, new cabinets. I gave John in December a check for $2,000, which was going to cover the supplies for my bathroom cabinets.
Did you get those supplies?
I didn't get the supplies or the cabinets.
You didn't get any supplies at all?
No. The thing is that I gave him the money, he was going to pick up the cabinets, and he was going to build the cabinets out of his workshop, his garage, and he would just come to install the cabinets. So that was good for me. The dust and stuff wouldn't be built at my house. He said, I'll just build the cabinets at my place, and I'll come back to install them.
So you gave him $2,000?
I gave him $2,000 for the cabinets. Then 2 weeks later, he asked me for $4,500 for more building supplies. And I said, John, we haven't even seen anything for the cabinets yet. I'm not going to give you $4,500. So I gave him another $2,000 for more building supplies.
Do you have proof of that?
I do.
Do you agree that she gave you a total of $4,000?
Yes,
she did.
Yes, Your Honor.
And so, did you ever start working in her bathroom?
Oh, most definitely, Your Honor. I went in and not only started it, but when we originally started it, there was no blueprints. There was no general idea. Miss Allen did not give me no drawing of what she wanted. I went in and did consulting design work.
Okay.
And I have proof of that.
Well, how much work did you do?
And 16 hours. Designing consulting.
Go ahead.
And I have proof in an email showing where I emailed these to Dr. Allen and asked her what did she think. Then on top of that, we actually went in after Christmas and we actually started the demo. 2 solid weeks we worked in there doing
2 weeks.
demolition.
Did he work for 2 weeks?
No.
We did the demolition.
How many days did they work in the
cab.
home?
A good 3 days to demo. Now, if he have blueprints and drawings, I've never seen them. They've never been emailed to me.
So you say he worked 3 days.
3 days.
What about
He
his
and two
other workers?
guys.
Did his other?
It's always a total of 3. He and 2 other guys
And you say you
would work
worked
together.
2 full weeks?
They demoed
Yes, ma'am.
my master bathroom. They gutted the whole bathroom, but that was it. I never saw designs for the cabinets. I never saw any other designs, not ever.
Okay, so they gutted the bathroom, and then beyond that, you never saw the supplies and the work.
No. After the guys and he did not show up a week later, I called her, and she told me John had been arrested.
Coming up, were they giving her the runaround about the renovation?
I left people in charge.
I thought I could have these 2 gentlemen do this work. It did not work out that way.
Why didn't it work out?
There were personal issues at hand. That
She was too busy with him. She was busy with him.
You were trying to get busy with the other one, so I wouldn't be talking.
Plaintiff Margaret Allen says John was unable to complete her renovation because he was sent to jail. She's suing for a refund on a construction job. Defendant John Scott says he doesn't owe because he used the money for materials. He's countersuing for emotional distress.
I got in an automobile accident and flipped my truck in the first part of December. Totaled the truck completely out. Due to that, they arrested me, took me to jail, charged me with a DWI, which I was never convicted of a DWI. There was no toxicity report ever said that I had alcohol in my system. But because I am a parolee and I am on parole, the state of Texas sent me back later after I'd been doing Dr. Allen's job. I was never...
So you got locked up?
Yes, ma'am. I was there for 3 months.
You got locked up for 3 months for a DUI you said you did not commit, for a crime you
Yes,
did not
ma'am.
commit. You were falsely accused,
Yes,
arrested,
ma'am.
charged for something,
Yes,
and went to
ma'am.
jail for 3 months for something you said
Yes,
you didn't
ma'am.
do. Did you contact her and say, hey, I can't come back to your house right now, I'm a little tied up?
I did not have a chance to. I didn't have her
You
address
never
when I was
contacted her?
in
What
jail.
about your wife? Okay. You were in communication with her, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you tell her?
Yes,
hey,
ma'am.
let Dr. Allen know. Did you ever hear from him?
I called her.
They never
Yes.
contacted you?
She never contacted me and said, look, John is not coming back. But she assured me I could get my job completed without him. Not to worry. It was a go on with no problem. She had everybody in place to do the job.
So you do realize she's going to know you're missing, right? You're not at her house.
Yes, Your
You're
Honor.
not showing up for work.
I totally agree with you.
At some point, she's going to
totally
wonder what's
agree.
going on.
I totally agree with you, Your Honor. And I had a lawyer...
So why does she have to contact you all to find out that you're not going to be there for 3 months?
Well, I'd left people in charge.
So were there other people working in the home?
There were, and I asked for him, and they said he was out trying to get other business. He was out trying to secure another contract.
Did they know you were in jail?
They knew I was in jail.
Okay,
I told them, and I left.
You didn't want her to know you had been locked up.
I left instructions.
Say what, ma'am?
I left instructions to get this job done. I left instructions for them to follow. What my lawyer had told me, he said, Mr. Scott, let's don't even take this to trial. He said, we could beat it, but I can just get you a few days in county, get this out, get the blue warrant lifted. Well, the blue warrant didn't get lifted, Your Honor.
What were you on parole for?
I was on parole for robbery, Your Honor. And when I did get out of jail, Miss Allen was one of the first people I called that day.
But it was 3 months later, sir. How long is she supposed to wait?
That's all I could do.
And what was your communication with Dr. Allen?
It was back and forth. I was embarrassed to tell her that, you know, I thought he was coming home sooner. I thought I could have these two gentlemen do this work. It did not work out that way.
Why didn't it work out?
There were personal issues at hand that I don't care to discuss.
What do you mean, personal issues? These are workers. He said he left people in charge. My only question for you is, why did they not finish the job? Because according to her, they stopped showing up.
Okay, well, they were paid for some of the demo work, but, I mean, how do you keep people working when you can't pay them?
What do you mean you can't pay them?
How can I pay them?
Because he has $4,000. That's what I'm trying to understand. She's paid. He admits she's given him $4,000.
Right.
So why aren't they getting paid?
They've been paid once. How do I continue to keep paying them to do her bathroom if I don't have operating money?
So the work wasn't completed. I understand you gutted the bathroom, but it clearly wasn't completed. You got locked up, which voids the contract because you can't complete the job. And you can't just leave other people and say, oh, I'll get them to do it. Why haven't you given her any of her money back?
The first $2,000 she gave me, I'd purchase materials with that money.
Do you have any proof of the $2,000 in materials you purchased?
No, ma'am.
Why don't you have that?
I do not have proof of the materials. Yes, she gave me $2,000, Your Honor, but the materials got purchased. And in my understanding, while I was in jail, Dr. Allen was given an opportunity to come pick the materials up and was told that we did not have a vehicle.
Really? Okay.
Now, they were that she was told that she was more than welcome to come pick up the half finish. She's like, no, I need the $2,000
No,
back.
I want another contract.
Okay, so what happened, Doctor? What happened, Dr.
I
Allen?
called his wife. She made me a promise. She said she had an employee who could do everything John could do. He was going to build my cabinets. When I noticed I didn't hear from them, I said, I have somebody who's going to take on the project. Can I come and pick up the materials? I asked. She said no.
You didn't.
I kept calling and calling. She stopped taking my phone calls. One night when I called late at night about 10:30, I asked, could I have the contractor's phone number? She said, oh, well, he's right here. I said, 10:30 at night, he's an arm's length distance to you? So
he
he's
was
right
staying
here.
at my house. You're right. He was.
But when John did call me when he was
That was
released,
dirty.
and he did apologize, but his wife did not follow through on anything.
Okay.
And Your Honor,
I couldn't give her the guy's number she wanted.
Why?
because-
He said he left the
You know
people
what?
in charge.
I'm not going to put her out there like that.
She was too busy with him. She was busy with him.
No,
What do you mean?
She was busy.
You are right. I was busy with him, but guess what? Guess what?
She was
Ma'am.
busy.
You were trying to get busy with the other one, so I wouldn't be talking.
Wow.
Yeah.
None of them that
You
work
wanna
for you,
call
that's for
her?
sure.
Miss Evans.
Yes, ma'am.
He said he left the contractors in charge, these other workers in charge. Why do you say you couldn't give out his number? These are the people he said he left in charge.
Your Honor, I'd like to.
No, I want her to answer
She
the
was
question.
interested in one of the other guys. Okay,
Never.
but-
Hold on.
Really?
Wait,
No,
So,
what-
never.
Miss Evans.
Did you see what happened? I'm sorry.
Coming up on Judge Faith, did the barter backfire?
Why haven't you given her back at least part of the money?
Would you give her $4,000 back with that tooth? Look at that tooth. Look.
Plaintiff Margaret Allen says John didn't complete her bathroom renovation. She's suing for a refund on a construction job. Defendant John Scott says he doesn't know because he planned to complete the job after his release. He's countersuing for emotional distress.
She's paid $4,000, and he's telling me he left these two people in charge. You said you didn't feel comfortable giving out his phone number. What's going on?
He didn't want me to give out his phone number because he wasn't interested.
Interested in what? Finishing
Your
my
Honor.
job?
You said earlier you left two people in charge. They could have gotten the job done. They weren't getting the
Come
work
to
done,
find out.
and they no longer work for you.
Come to
My
find that
question
out.
for you is, why haven't you given her back at least part of the money?
I'll tell
Where's
you,
the
Your
rest
Honor.
of the money?
Would you give her $4,000 back with that tooth? Look at that
Your
tooth.
Honor,
Look.
I have this tooth
That's
at my
affecting
office.
my business. Look at that.
Your Honor.
I don't even want to smile. I'm
Excuse
losing
me.
business.
Your Honor.
Your tooth fell out.
My tooth fell out.
That's
It's
the
been
tooth that
out.
she-
It's been out. I called her when I got out of jail and I asked her, I said, Dr. A, can you please take care of my tooth? She said, no. She said, find another dentist. I need my money.
How did your tooth fall out?
It was a temporary. It was half. It wasn't glued in correct, Your Honor. The dental worked bad. I don't know what to tell you.
It didn't last but 6 weeks, a temporary, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
Let me see the papers you said you paid your workers.
Right here.
Was
is
that a
what
temporary? Was that
It was a
temporary tooth?
temporary. It
This
only
here.
should last 6 weeks. He had it for past 90 days. I do have his permanent crown, and I expressed that to him when he called me the day he got out.
Can I say something?
Now you,
Ma'am, Your Honor.
what else do you want to add, ma'am?
You asked why we didn't give her money back. You asked why this job didn't get done.
Yes.
We lost our house over this.
What does this have to do with her?
It has to do with, it doesn't have anything to do with her. That's the reason it happened. You know, like, how do you give somebody something you don't have?
They had materials, supplies.
You could have gotten them. You
I
could have
asked for
gotten them.
So you basically spent the money. That's what happened.
No, I did not spend her money.
Because you obviously went to jail. You weren't working.
I was out. I am the one who received the money, so I would like to get that clarified. Didn't nobody have the money but me, and the money went to the materials.
Do you have proof of what you spent on
I
materials?
don't have
all
proof,
over when we
Your
had,
Honor.
When we had to leave.
I don't have proof, and furthermore, Your Honor, there was no contract. There was no contract. It was a
doesn't
barter.
matter.
There was no documentation.
Sir, how long have you been doing contract
I've
work?
been doing contract a long time, and everybody signs a contract, Your Honor. and
Okay,
there's a date
let
to
me
start, and there's a
let me
date-
tell you about this. Just because there's nothing written does not mean there's not a contract in place. Clearly, the two of you entered into a verbal agreement. That's
correct.
just as legally binding as if it were a written agreement. There was a contract in place. The question is, who breached? You breached because you went to jail. That's not her fault. You were physically unable to complete the job because you got locked up.
That's correct.
So now my job is to figure out, clearly some work was done. This is your day in court to prove your defense. I'm asking you these questions to try to figure out how much work you did and what you can prove in court. It's as simple as that. And what you've given me, I mean, look, you took a back of a piece of, did you write this before you walked in today?
I had to. That's all I had, Your Honor. That's
so,
all
okay.
I had.
Do you have any pay records of what you paid these people?
Everything in the files that was on that job.
Everything's conveniently lost. You went to
Honor.
jail. You weren't in a flood. Where is it? Where's all your paperwork?
Your Honor, I don't have the paperwork. Everything that I'd had when I was locked up, they're all disappeared.
Well, that's too bad.
I don't know where they're at. I don't know, but what I do know for a fact is I've been honest with Miss Allen.
You weren't honest because when you went to jail, you didn't tell her that you were locked up.
How am I supposed to, Your Honor? I didn't have a phone.
You were. You know
I
what?
didn't have a phone.
You got to stop. You got to stop. You have to understand. I know how this works. When you go to jail, you make phone calls every single day. You were talking to her every day. Plus, you said you left her in charge of trying to get her job done. Clearly, you're talking to her. Clearly, the communication could have easily been made to her. So let's stop being dishonest. You thought perhaps you could have these other people there and you'd get out in time and be able to finish the job, and it didn't happen. You didn't tell her because you couldn't. You did not tell her because you did not want to, sir.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
Okay, so let's see if we can get everything resolved here today. You're missing a tooth. It fell out while you were in jail. I saw it, sir.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm scared to smile. I figured I would for you.
Can you finish the work on his tooth? Is my question.
Yes, I can. On that particular tooth.
You're willing to go back and get that tooth finished so you can feel confident about your smile again.
Yes, ma'am. I want a good smile.
So here's what we're going to do. You submitted your paperwork. You don't have any paperwork. She submitted paperwork in terms of the work that she did for you, and it's over $3,800.
Yes,
so not only did she pay you $4,000, sir, but she also performed over $3,800 worth of services as a part of your barter agreement.
Ma'am.
I'm going to credit that $3,800. I'm going to credit that to the work that you did. Let's assume that you did $3,800. I don't think you did that much work, but let's just assume that you did $3,800 worth of work in her home. So that's going to offset the dental work that she did for you.
Yes,
that
ma'am.
still leaves the $4,000 that she paid you,
ma'am.
that I believe you owe because you breached the contract because you got locked up. What I'm going to do is, ma'am, I'm going to order you to complete the work on his tooth, and I'm going to order you, sir, to return the $4,000 because your work offsets the dental work that you've already had done by the dentist. And you have a counterclaim, $4,000 for emotional distress.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me how you have been emotionally distressed by the plaintiff.
Your Honor, I've lost business.
Because,
people look at me and they
because of your tooth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, counterclaim is dismissed. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff, $4,000.
Keep it a crime. I'll divorce you.
I'm going to complete his job and make sure everything's satisfied into the agreements with him. But for as his wife, I don't want her back in my office as a patient.
She basically tried to just put me out there and put my business out there and make me look ugly for what? That had nothing to do with her job.
A used car purchase backfires, causing bad blood between buddies.
I didn't want no bad blood with my friend, right? Because he threatened my life, man.
I said, I don't think $1,000 is worth your son's life.
You know I was a criminal prosecutor, right? Is $1,000 worth your son's life? That means life or death.
And later, a lousy landlord or a tenant with tons of excuses.
That place was in good condition when she got it, and she's just trying to use that as an excuse and make this seem like more than it is.
I didn't leave, not a mess at all.
Here's how you solve all those problems, Ms. Hudson. Just pay the rent.
Plaintiff Quincy Nelson says his former friend sold him a car that had major mechanical issues. He's suing for a partial car refund. Defendant Dante McCrae says he doesn't owe any money because Quincy knew about the problems with the vehicle and he bought it as is.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Nelson versus McCrae.
Thank you, Juan. Quincy Nelson?
That's me.
You are suing the defendant, Dante McCrae,
Yes.
for $3,100 for a partial car refund. You say you purchased a car from the defendant and now you want him to refund your money?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, why don't we start from the beginning, sir? Tell me what happened here.
Just a background of me and him. We've been friends maybe 1.5 years to 2 years. We worked together.
How old are you, 22?
I'm 22.
So you're a year older, okay.
Yeah, a year older.
So what happened in this case? You end up buying a car from your friend, a used car, which I say never do. Don't sell used cars to your family members or your friends because you're going to hear about it later down the road. Go ahead.
So on June 2nd which was a Tuesday, is the day I purchased the vehicle.
What kind of car is it?
A 2007 Pontiac G6.
Now, was this a car that you were driving? Why were you selling it?
Well, the car broke down, and I ride a motorcycle 90% of the days, rain or shine sort of situation. Car wasn't running. I knew it wasn't running. What I thought it was a fuel pump. I didn't have the money to fix it. I didn't really care to fix it. I wasn't driving it enough anyways.
And our agreement was that it only needed a fuel pump. He actually did the research to how much a fuel pump would cost. And the reason why I wanted to purchase the vehicle is because I run a business in the car rental service. So this would be a good asset to my collection because he was going to give me a deal on the vehicle. That was the only reason why I wanted it. And we agreed.
You run a car rental business?
Yes, to Uber and Lyft drivers. So I hold a couple of vehicles, and they pay me weekly to drive my vehicles.
So you know that this car is not running?
Yes, ma'am.
So you don't even test drive it?
No, ma'am.
You can't test drive it?
No, ma'am.
And how much do you pay him for it?
$2,250 in cash.
Okay, so did you have anyone take a look at it? What did you do?
I didn't test nothing. I just took an agreement from my friend that, hey,
okay, but you're buying a used car,
and
that's not running. Did you have to tow it to your place?
Yeah, we agreed to tow to.
So how do you know that it's just a fuel pump?
I was just taking my friend's word.
Go ahead. So you give him the money. You tow it to your place, and what happens?
The first day, my mechanic, he cranks it and he tells me, "Hey, man, you sure you want to buy the part? You sure you want to pay me labor? The engine is not even cranking on."
When you bought the car, did you ever go over to his place and at least try to turn it on?
No, I knew it was not running. I was aware of that, yeah.
So the first time anyone tried to turn the car on after you purchased it was your mechanic?
Yes.
After the fact?
Yes. 2 days later, my mechanic called me, said, "Hey, man, engine's bad." I'm like, "Really? No way." But it's okay. You know, it's my friend. You know, we'll figure something out to make it a fair business transaction. So I called
business transaction's over at that point. So what happens? You find out that it needs a new engine. You go back to Mr. McCrae and tell him what?
I tell him specifically, "Hey, man, the engine is fried. I need my money back." And he agreed. He agreed to give me my full amount of money back.
Did you do that, Mr. McCrae?
I never agreed to give him all his money back.
What happened?
I told him I would give him a portion. I told him I'd give him $500. Reason being, he is my friend, and I agreed to give him $500 back because I didn't want a bad blow with my friend.
So what ends up happening? Do you give him $500 back?
No.
Why?
Because he threatened my life, man.
Really?
Coming up, the condition of the car is called into question.
Our agreement was not as is.
The sale of used cars is by default an as-is sale. And what that means is buyer beware.
And later, a decision not to pay lands these ladies in court.
When I texted her and told her I was going to be late with the rent, I had half of the rent. And she just basically she didn't even want half of the rent.
Do you live in half of the house?
No, I don't.
Did you live in the house for half the month?
Nope, I didn't.
No, you lived there and occupied it for the entire month.
Okay, but
so
when
pay the entire rent.
Plaintiff Quincy Nelson says Dante sold him a lemon. He's suing for a partial car refund. Defendant Dante McCrae says he doesn't know because he bought the vehicle as is.
Let's go.
Mr. Nelson?
To my penal code.
Hold on. To your what?
My penal code,
Your
according
penal
to California Penal Code 422 PC, defines the crime as a criminal threat is when you are threatened to kill or physically harm someone. That person is thereby placed in a state of reasonable sustain of fear. He was not in reasonable sustain of fear because
How do you know? Are you him?
I'm going to tell you right now. He specifically texted me saying, "Yeah, what you said to me, to my mother was foul, man. I was ready to come to San Francisco and fight you."
Wait, what did you say to his... Wait, so the threat was to his mother?
No.
What did you say? You don't threaten a man's mother.
But another element of the penal code is that the threat must be specific.
You know I was a criminal prosecutor, right?
Yes,
I'm familiar with the penal code. I don't need you to read it to me. Just tell me what you said to his mother.
I said, "I don't think $1,000 is worth your son's life."
Wow.
And can that be true? Wait, can I explain?
Please do.
If I take your son to court, isn't that affecting his life?
Oh, that's what you were talking about, taking him to court?
Now he can't work. He has to fly. You know what I'm saying? So
come on now.
There you go. It has to be specific. I have to be specific. That's what this penal code is telling me.
Okay, you're playing with words now. Now I'm going to interpret your words for you. Is $1,000 worth your son's life? That means life or death. That's what that means.
Ma'am, my mom also did make a video with a video statement.
You submitted that to the court?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me take a look at it.
Judge Faith, I'm Megan Dante, the defendant's mom. He wanted more money, and when I told him I didn't have that, he then threatened my son's life. At this point, there's hard feelings, and bottom line is that Quincy bought the car as is.
And you're going to tell that to somebody's mother? What's wrong with you? Let me ask you a question. Is $2,500 worth your liberty for going to jail to make a threat over a $2,500 car?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. And I apologize to his mother and him right after.
You want to come in here reading the penal code to me, talking about this wasn't really a threat because they weren't really afraid. How do you know? You can't testify they weren't afraid because you don't know that. You're not them.
But doesn't their actions prove that? Like if he's ready to come
I want
fight
you
me,
to,
how does that
Mr.
say
Nelson,
that
if you want to go to law school, I encourage you to do so because you need to have a better understanding of the statute, sir. I appreciate your effort.
I agree. I thought
but
I was on it until I got here.
You're not interpreting the statute.
Our agreement was not as is. And I have proof of in text that he said specifically, I would not have sold you the car if it was more than a fuel pump. So, you know,
That's not what the text says, man.
I can show the text.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about as is, the law and what that means.
Yeah, can
oh, wait,
I read
you
that?
have another statute you want to read to me?
That was actually tortious interference of business.
It's tortious interference of business, sir.
That's what I came here for, to learn from you, my sister. Because I know you the smart one.
That's not going to help you, Mr. Nelson. That's not going to help you.
That's why I'm here in front of you.
That's not going to help you.
Can I repeat that? Tortious interference of business. The defendant was not authorized to interfere with the parties' dealings. The defendant interference resulted in damages to the plaintiffs. The damages was to my pocket, Your Honor. I lost a lot of money. As of today, I have spent $6,800 on this vehicle that at the Blue Book value time that I bought it was only $3,800. And I got facts to prove it.
So why would you do that?
Oh, I had to. I was stuck with the car. There's no other options. Why would I not spend money and keep the car not running?
Let me explain something to you. The sale of used cars, even if you don't have a written contract, the two of you don't have a written contract here, there's just an agreement to sell this car, is by default an as-is sale. And what that means is buyer beware. You have a choice. You can take it or you can leave it. But if you take it, it's yours. In your mind, him telling you, well, there's a problem with the fuel pump, but otherwise it's good. It's some kind of warranty to you, but it isn't. It's just an opinion. He's not a mechanic. He doesn't know. It's just his opinion about the car. The duty is on you. If you really want to know, especially for a car that's not even running, you can't even start the car and you're going to buy it without having a professional take a look at it. The first thing you did after you bought the car was take it to a mechanic. That should have been the first thing you did before you purchased the car. I feel bad for you. You're working hard, you're trying to run a business, and unfortunately, this is going to be an expensive lesson for you, but I can tell you this. At 22 years old, this will be a lesson that you've learned, and if you're going to stay in the car business, you will never do this again.
You dang right. You dang right. That's all I'm about is lessons. That's all I'm about.
And let me give you one more lesson. Don't tell people it's money or their life going forward when you're in a dispute on a case.
Yes, ma'am.
You do what you're doing now, bring it to court, and try to resolve it in court. Yes. Don't try to resolve it on your own in the street. You understand?
Got you.
Judgment in this case for the defendant. Good luck.
As far as me and Quincy's friendship, it's over. There's a lot of love lost there.
She's a brilliant woman, and obviously I need to learn a lot more before I think I'm going to win in preparing the case.
Plaintiff Tanisha Wilson says her former tenant stopped paying rent and then hid out inside the house. She's suing for unpaid rent and late fees. Defendant LaToya Hudson says she doesn't know because she didn't like the conditions of the house. And Tanisha kept demanding the rent. She's countersuing for harassment and defamation of character.
Tanisha Wilson?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were suing the defendant LaToya Hudson?
Yes, Your Honor.
For $1,580 you say she owes you for unpaid rent and late fees?
Yes, ma'am.
And you are countersuing, ma'am, for $2,500 for harassment and defamation of character?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I understand that Ms. Hudson is a former tenant of yours. And the two of you entered into a one-year lease agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When did she first move into the home?
On March the 2nd.
March the 2nd of this year?
Yes, ma'am.
And when did she move out?
I believe she left around the end of August.
August as well. Okay, so she wasn't in there a full year?
No, ma'am.
Are you a property manager?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of place is it?
It's a 3-bedroom bungalow in Northwest Detroit.
How much did she pay for security deposit and first month's rent?
It was going to be $700 for the first month rent and $900 for the security.
How much total did she give you for security deposit?
$800.
$800, and then the monthly rent will be $700.
Correct.
Okay, and who would be living in the home with you, ma'am?
It was myself and 3 children.
3 children? Okay.
Yes.
So what months are you
240.
suing for rent that she did not pay?
June and July.
Did you pay any rent for the month of June?
For the month of June, no, I did not pay any
What is
rent.
the reason you did not pay rent for the month of June? You lived there in June, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I text her, my car, I have a job, I have 3 children, and my car broke down. I came home from work one day, and the block was flooded, rolled over puddles of rain. I texted her and told her I was going to be late for rent, and it just went from, oh no, Ms. Hudson, that's not acceptable. Whatever it is you have to do, you can't pay me rent late. When I texted her and told her I was going to be late with the rent, I had half of the rent. And she just basically she didn't even want half of the rent. And I was texting her waiting for a response, and she was like, okay.
Yeah, she doesn't have to accept half.
Okay, well, she didn't want to
Do you
accept
live in
half.
half of the house?
No, I
Did
don't.
you live in the house for half the month?
Nope, I didn't.
No, you lived there and occupied it for the entire month.
Okay, but
so
when
pay
I was
the entire rent.
It was just too much going on with her harassing me and coming over and texting me all type of stuff, emoji faces.
So in July, then you don't pay rent because she's asking you for rent?
No, it just was just everything that was going on with the house.
Asking you for rent isn't harassing you. That's asking you for rent. You still live in the home, right?
Yeah, but I told her that I was just going to move.
And not pay rent?
Yeah, because
even if you move, you still live there, right? So you have to pay for the time that you live there.
Okay, I
So
understand
until
that.
you move, you pay rent.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the details of the rent strike are disputed.
It was only 2 days ago that I went over there and found out that she's actually gone, and she left quite a mess.
Is that true? Ma'am, you're looking down, you're looking everywhere but me. Is that true?
Plaintiff Tanisha Wilson says her former tenant stopped paying rent. She's suing for unpaid rent and late fees. Defendant LaToya Hudson says she doesn't know because Tanisha was annoying. She's countersuing for harassment and defamation of character.
It was just becoming uncomfortable with everything that was going on with the house, and I just told her I wanted to move. And then she said, well, you can go stay in a hotel with your kids. And I'm like, I'm not going to go stay in a hotel with my kids.
What do you mean uncomfortable with everything going on in the house?
Like, for instance, when I moved there, the faucets wasn't working, the toilet wasn't
What do you mean
flushing.
they weren't working?
It wasn't no running water coming out of the kitchen sink.
There was no running water
coming out
in
of
the kitchen.
Exactly.
Did you report that to her?
Yes, I did.
And did she report that to you?
There was low water pressure. It was
Low water
So
pressure.
we put a new faucet on within a week.
Oh, so she fixed it within a week?
It was not within a week. She sent her brother out there. He came
Was
out.
it fixed?
It got fixed after a few weeks. Yes, it did.
So if you say it was fixed a few weeks later, that's
Yeah.
way before June.
March, April, yeah.
Okay,
March.
so that wasn't a problem in June.
No, that was just part of a enormous problem. Everything that something was going wrong with the house, and
What else was going wrong?
The screen door. It wasn't no glass in the screen door. It was just like plastic.
Oh, you're right. That's horrible.
Yeah, it was like.
How could you live like that?
Okay, well, I have text messages in my phone with me just texting her about other things that was wrong, and she kept sending people over there. I would stay home from work on my off day, give her days.
I mean, because it doesn't sound like because there's one thing for you to not pay because you're living in an uninhabitable dwelling, and that's a legitimate reason to withhold rent. But from what you're telling me, there were some seemingly minor issues with the house, and when you told her about them, she would come in and fix them. What were the circumstances of her moving out in
She
August?
still hasn't told me that she's done with the house yet. It was only 2 days ago that I went over there and found out that she's actually gone, and she left quite a mess.
Let me see the photos.
To give her the
Several
keys.
times she said what day she was going to be out.
Listen.
And each time, that day would change. Over and over. She just could not keep her word. I even made a deal with her that if she could move out before I get a court date, that I wouldn't sue her and ruin her credit. And she said, do what you have to do.
Is that true? Ma'am? You're looking down, you're looking everywhere but me. Is that true?
The text messages prove everything.
But I told her.
Let me see the text message.
Yeah, because she wanted to. She was going to my neighbors, leaving cars. Or every once I one paying the rent, going to my neighbors, leaving cars. Well,
Why did you leave the house looking like this? Why'd you do that? Why'd you leave all this trash and garbage all over the house?
Okay,
You didn't pay
can I
rent
see
for
the-
the last 2 months. What's your excuse for that?
When I moved there, that house was.
That place was in good condition when she got it. And she's just trying to use that as a excuse.
Who broke the mirror in the bathroom?
It broke a couple weeks after just closed it. One of my kids closed it, and it just broke.
And she's not even suing you for damages. Do you understand that? She's only suing you for rent.
Okay.
She
I've
could
been
ask,
very
based on these
kind.
photos, she could ask for more because she doesn't have to clean up this trash after you move out.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
How does she defame your character?
Well, once I stopped paying rent and once I told her I was going to move, she come to my house every day. Like my ex-boyfriend, he would be there, and she would tell me the landlord just left, and I'd say, I asked her, did she let him in? She said no. She just said she's going to come over here every day until you don't pay the rent. There's a guy that stayed next door to me. She went over there and left him her business card and said, well, she haven't paid rent. She's supposed to be moving. Let me know if she's,
But you hadn't paid rent. You were supposed to be moving.
Okay, but who business is that on my block to go tell everybody that and to watch the house?
The business of the landlord to try to collect from you. And she's asking somebody else. Were you hiding out or something?
No, I was going to work, coming home every day.
Was she in the house? You were looking for her?
She was not returning my calls or texts, and her phone got disconnected, and she wouldn't give me her new number for a long time.
When you went to the house, was she there?
No, she was not there.
Ma'am, let me tell you something.
Okay.
Defamation of character is maybe a lot of things, but it's nowhere close to what you're describing.
Okay.
Nowhere close.
All right.
Her having a conversation with her neighbors saying, even if she said, hey, she hadn't paid rent, that's not defamation, that's the truth. You hadn't paid the rent. She can tell anyone she wants to.
Okay. So how is it that that's anyone's business to go and spread my personal business? Not having a conversation like.
Here's how you solve all those problems, Ms. Hudson. Just pay the rent.
Okay.
Based on everything I've seen here today, I was going to have a discussion about the security deposit. That's going to go towards damages and her having to clean this house. The way you left it, you're not getting any of your security deposit back. In addition, I'm ordering you to pay the 2 months of unpaid rent and the late fees. It's a total judgment in the plaintiff's favor, $1,580. Your counterclaim is dismissed.
It was very fair. Ms. Hudson lived there, and she didn't pay me. She should have.
I like to say to Ms. Wilson that you should give up the business of renting houses. You make it seem like it's the tenant's fault, but you have people coming in and out the house because you're not a good landlord. You're not taking care of your properties.
Former BFFs with an addiction to drama battle it out over missing belongings.
We start arguing in the middle of the street. People are stopping and saying, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, I'm fine. When she did text me, she said the police were after her. She was upset because her boyfriend was drunk at the bar and someone else had told her that her boyfriend was cheating on her.
Are y'all sure y'all on the right show? This is not Jerry Springer.
And later, future house flippers dispute the details of their deal.
The man asked you how you were going to pay your portion. She said, "Oh, I don't have any money."
I approached her and I said, "Would you let me go as your free guest?" And she said yes.
You use those words explicitly. May I be your free guest?
Exactly.
F-R-E-E.
Plaintiff Holly Davis says the defendant borrowed her car to pick up her drunk boyfriend and then damaged the vehicle. She's suing for car damages and other items. Defendant Sabrina Schroeder says she doesn't owe any money because she didn't damage the car. She's countersuing for personal belongings. She's accompanied in court today by Justin Bunton.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Davis versus Schroeder.
Thank you, Juan. Holly Davis?
Yes.
You are suing the defendant, Sabrina Schroeder?
Yes.
For $1,591.32 you say she owes you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you are countersuing for $1,880.48?
Yes.
For your personal belongings?
Yes.
And you have a witness with you here today. You are Justin Bunton?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I love the fact that you all address alike, by the way. I appreciate that. Why don't we start with you, Ms. Davis? Tell me what's going on here. How do you know the defendant?
My son's dad is also her daughter's father, and so our children are 3 months apart.
The two of you were pregnant at the same time.
Right.
By the same man?
Yes.
Okay. And is that you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, he cheated.
So that's how you met?
Yeah. Well, no. We were all friends before that. When he was my boyfriend, we all lived in the same house together, which was her house. And while we were living in that house, he cheated on me with her.
And both of you got pregnant at the same time?
Right.
Okay.
We were 3 months apart.
Are y'all sure y'all on the right show? This is not Jerry Springer. I'm just checking.
Neither of us are with the guy anymore, and I'm currently, I have 93 days clean from drugs today.
Okay.
And, and she was trying to get clean as well. So she came and she was staying at my house, you know, because she was closer to her church and closer to her boyfriend. And so she had walked from church to my house.
She didn't have a car?
No. So when I got back, she had already broke in my house through the bathroom window.
Why do you say she broke in?
Because she doesn't have a key to my house, and my house was locked.
Had she used the bathroom window to get in before?
No.
Okay. Did you do that?
I did.
Why?
Well, because she told me that's the way to get into her house, and I needed a phone charger because she was supposed to pick me up
So
from
she
church.
told you could go through the bathroom window?
Yeah, like she said that she thought her neighbor had been going through there. So I said, okay, well, I need my charger because I wasn't able to contact nobody. When I had asked, I paid gas, put gas in her car the night before so I could guarantee a ride to church and back.
What happens when you find out she's in your house?
So she was upset, saying that the police, Folsom Police, was calling her because her boyfriend was drunk at the bar, and someone else had told her that her boyfriend was cheating on her.
They're calling her because...
They're saying that she's his sister, not his girlfriend, but to come pick him up from the bar. So I was in the shower, and she came in the bathroom, and she said, "I'm taking your car over the bridge," and left out of my house. And
you said what in response to that?
I didn't say anything. I didn't have a chance to. She shut the door and took off out of my house.
Did she give you permission to take the car?
She said okay. Then I called her, and she wouldn't answer the phone. Later on, when she did text me, she said she was running through the bushes. The police were after her. My keys got thrown. The car's in the middle of Auburn Boulevard. And then my dad
So she sends you a text saying she's running through the bushes and all of this is happening?
Yes.
And your car was in the middle of the road?
Yes.
Coming up, did the boyfriend cause the BFF breakup?
What's going on at the bar where the police are there and they need to get you out of there? What are you doing, if you recall?
Yeah, and I don't. I was belligerent. Obviously, there was an issue. The police had to be called, so.
And later, was the 2-for-1 ticket a gift or a shared expense?
It was understood that we were sharing the class monetarily.
Just like this. I don't have no money. I told her just like that.
You use those words explicitly.
Exactly.
Plaintiff Holly Davis says Sabrina caused major damage to her vehicle. She's suing for car damages and various items. Defendant Sabrina Schroeder says she doesn't know because her boyfriend caused the damage. She's countersuing for personal belongings.
Tell me what happened. You get a phone call about him.
Yeah.
What do they tell? Who calls you?
The Folsom Police.
What do they tell you?
They said, "Can you come pick up your brother? He's drunk, and or if not, we're gonna take him to jail."
Were you at the bar, sir?
No, yeah.
You were drunk.
Yeah.
And you're her fiance now.
Yeah.
You're not her brother.
No.
And you were supposed to be in rehab. You can use more than one word to answer.
No, yeah, I was supposed to be in rehab, yeah.
So what's going on at the bar where the police are there and they need to get you out of there? What are you doing, if you recall?
Yeah, and I don't. I was belligerent. Obviously, there was an issue. The police had to be called, so.
So you get the phone call that he needs to be picked up. You go get her keys and drive where?
To his program.
Is he there?
No.
He's at the bar?
Yeah.
And what happened? How did you wreck her car?
I didn't wreck her car. When I saw him, I was just told him, I'm like, F you, I was because I thought he was hanging out with his ex-girlfriend. And so he gets in the car and he punches the stereo. And I'm like, oh, that's really nice. And he's just.
So he punches the stereo.
Yeah.
That's one. What else happens?
So eventually, he slams the car in park, and then he takes the keys out of the car and he throws them. And so I'm like,
while you're driving, he slams the car in park?
Yeah, well, it was right by the stop sign.
How do you know? You were drunk.
I was there.
Because he walked back to the car and they gave him a DUI.
The stop sign, well, that's where the car was at when the
He went back to the car.
So he puts the car in park, throws the keys, and does what?
We start arguing in the middle of the street. People are stopping and saying, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm fine." And so he takes off, and then I'm like, "Oh, I don't have keys. And I've been drinking, and I don't want to get a DUI or get, I don't want to deal with the cops right now." So I took off. Well, he went back to go make sure I was okay.
So he leaves. And then you leave.
Yeah.
And the car's in the middle of the road.
Yeah, because I looked for the keys literally for 15 minutes, could not find them.
You broke the DVD player, the radio, the entire deck in the front of her car. Let me see photos of the car. Yeah, you smashed the entire screen.
And that orange purse right there, that had all my credit cards, mine and my son's medical cards. And so it ended up on the floor. All of my credit cards were gone, my medical cards gone, and he was driving my vehicle, is what she told me.
Is that true? You told her that?
I did tell her that.
Yes, okay. So you were driving the car. What is your counterclaim about $1,880 for personal belongings?
My belongings, I guess, that are all over there.
Okay, and after this incident, the two of you weren't speaking anymore?
Well, no, I mean, I was made attempts to pay her. Like, he went straight to work that Monday, but she started harassing me and my mother and stuff, and it was like, all of a sudden I got lawsuit papers because he could only work so much. I mean, he still hasn't.
Did you pay her anything for the damage?
No, we haven't paid her anything.
So to this date, you haven't paid her a dime for anything?
No.
Okay, so that's zero effort on your part then? None. After taking her car, letting your boyfriend get the keys, get in, and clearly drive while he was drunk and belligerent. That's your responsibility. Okay, here's what we're going to do in this case. I'm going to order you to pay her based on the proof she submitted to this court.
Okay.
The receipts that she's had to pay to get the car repaired and the estimate that you provided to get your TV repaired in the car. And I'm ordering you, ma'am, to return her personal belongings. Your counterclaim is dismissed. I'm ordering the return of your belongings. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff, $1,591.32. Good luck.
Thank you. I have learned that you can't trust everybody, and that I basically need to worry about bettering myself before I can help anybody else.
I really did plan on paying her, but after the harassment and stuff to my mom and stuff, it's like, and then the amount of money, it was ridiculous.
Plaintiff Donna Chang says the defendant tricked her into paying for an investment seminar and then disappeared. She's suing for money owed. Defendant Janet Clark says she doesn't owe because Donna knew she didn't have the money and the seminar was a scam.
Donna Chang.
Yes.
You were suing the defendant, Janet Clark?
Yes.
For $825 you say she owes you for a seminar the two of you attended, and you paid her fee and she did not pay you back?
That's correct.
Okay, why don't we start from the beginning, ma'am? Tell me what happened.
Okay. On October 4th, we went to an informational seminar that was they offered after that a advanced class.
Informational seminar on what?
On investments.
Okay.
And so at that point, we're all sitting there. I didn't know anyone there. And once the offer was made to participate in the advanced class, they also offered that a second person could be added to that. It was a 2-for-1. I got up from my seat.
2-for-1 as in you would pay for another class to go to the seminar and could bring a guest?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And at that point, once the seminar was over, I proceeded to get up and walk out of the aisle because at that point, I had someone that I knew would be interested in going in with me on this and possibly being a business partner or, and I was going to step out and call my cousin, and I knew she had the money to participate.
How much was the fee?
The fee was $1,497. It was like $1,500.
Okay.
When I got up to walk out of the seminar, Ms. Clark stopped me as I got ready to pass her, and she asked me if I had anyone that would, was going to go in on the seminar with me. And I said, well, I would have asked you. I said, but I'm going out to ask someone.
Well, did you know her?
No, I hadn't met her at all.
Well, how did the two of you come to have that conversation?
Because she stopped me.
So it was the first time you ever spoke to her?
Right. Absolutely. And it was understood that we were sharing the class monetarily. Mm-hmm. At that particular time, we went to the table where they were signing people up, and I was speaking to the gentleman. She had already signed the paperwork, and he looked at me and he said, how are you going to pay for this? She was standing off to my left, and he kept asking, how is this going to be paid for? One check, a credit card, or whatever. And I noticed that she wasn't speaking, and I kind of like, why isn't she saying something, right? So I said, well, I'm going to put my portion on my credit card. And I turned around and I looked at her and I saw that she was just standing there. I said, the man asked you how you were going to pay your portion. Mm-hmm. She said, oh, I don't have any money. And I was like, what do you mean? I said, you asked if you could participate in this and pay half of. I said, I'm confused. I said, well, I'll tell you what. Hold it. You will have to sign a promissory note, give me your Social Security, your driver's license, your address, whatever. I said, because I have to have some kind of guarantee that you're going to pay this money.
How'd that work out for you, that guarantee?
Here we are.
Right. You don't know her?
Right.
You think having someone sign a piece of paper?
Absolutely.
Because what ends up happening, you pay the full amount and you go to the seminar, she doesn't pay you back, and now we're here. Tell me what happened, Ms. Clark.
Well, it didn't happen like she just said. We went to the free seminar, true enough.
Well, tell me about the conversation before that,
Well,
before you ever go to the
there was
seminar.
really no conversation. We went to the free seminar, like she said, that was true. And then at the end, the guys, they said there's a second seminar that we could go to. It's a 3-day seminar. And so then they said you could bring a guest, a free guest or whatever. So she was already up there at the place. She said something about she was going to call a friend or whatever it was. She was going to call a friend, and she should have called a friend. I'm somebody she don't
Absolutely,
even know. Why would you
should've.
ask me to do something with you if you were already going to do it with another person?
So you approached her.
I approached her, and I said, would you let me go as your free guest? And she said yes. And I said, okay, that's fine. You know, so we're standing there, and the guys are on the other side of the table, and they're going to give us our paperwork and all this and that. And she had her credit card out and everything, and she went on ahead and she paid it. And then
was there ever a question, though? Did he ever say, how are you going to pay for this?
No, he ain't never said, how are you going to pay or anything like that.
Ms. Clark, did she turn to you and say, how are you going to pay for your portion?
No, because I told her, I just like this, I don't have no money. I told her just like that, I don't have any money.
Well, why would you say you didn't have any money?
Because I didn't have any money.
But, Ms. Clark.
But you could bring a free guest. I'm coming as her free guest.
So you use those words explicitly. May I be your free guest to this seminar?
Exactly.
F-R-E-E.
Coming up on Judge Faith, was the contract coerced?
We're signing the paperwork for the person or whatever. She pays for it, and then after the fact, she writes an IOU note, and I went ahead and I signed it.
Well, would you sign that? You just said you signed as a free guest.
Plaintiff Donna Chang says Janet signed an IOU and then refused to pay. She's suing for money owed. Defendant Janet Clark says she doesn't know because Donna took her to the seminar as a free guest.
When did you tell her then that you didn't have any money?
Okay, well, we're standing up at the guy where you're going to pay or pay for the $1,400 or how much ever it was, okay? And I told her, I said, well, I don't have any money, but would you let me come as your free guest? And she, you know, kind of contemplated or whatever, and she said yes. And then we're signing the paperwork for the person or whatever. She pays for it, and then after the fact, she says, she writes a promissory IOU note, and I went ahead and I signed it, you know, because I didn't want to feel intimidated that after I'd asked her and she had said yes.
Well, would you sign that? You just said you signed as a free guest. Why would you need to sign anything?
Because after I had asked her the question, can I come as your free guest, she indicated yes that I could.
Right. So, Ms. Clark, so you say she then comes to you out of the blue.
No, we're still standing there.
Right, but still, like you've already determined you're going to be her free guest.
Correct.
Why then would she say to you, I want you to sign a promissory note to pay me for half the seminar?
I have no idea why she said that.
So, okay, so you have no idea why she said it. Why would you sign it?
I signed it because I didn't want to be embarrassed that after I'm coming as her guest, okay, now I'm not going to, I mean, if I didn't sign the note or anything, then I mean, I can't go as her thing.
So how is that embarrassing for you?
Because we're in front of people. What if she starts?
Just say no. Just say no.
Well, I didn't just say no,
I don't want to
Your Honor.
sign a promissory note. May I see the note?
I didn't just say no, Your Honor.
She wrote this, okay?
Oh, you wrote this,
She
ma'am?
wrote,
You wrote it.
she wrote that.
I signed it.
How would I know her
anything.
driver's license or social security
you
number?
asked
Hold on a
me,
second. Ms. Clark, is this your handwriting? Looks like your handwriting, Ms. Clark.
It is my handwriting, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. May I have that back, please? So it's not like she put a piece of paper in front of you and said, here, sign this real quick.
No, Your
Ms. Clark,
Honor.
you took out the time to write your name, and you wrote your handwriting.
Right.
I promise to pay Donna Chang $750, my half for our joint venture in 90 days. Then you wrote that you took out your driver's license. You looked at your driver's license, you got your number out, you wrote that on there.
That's what
and
she
then you
asked me
signed your name, Ms. Clark.
And that's what she
That's
asked
a
me.
lot of time for you to take for somebody putting pressure on you.
No, that's what she asked me to put on there after the fact, Your
Why-
Honor.
why- are you
asked
saying
me
she
for my
forced you to write
license.
this?
No, I wrote it down, Your Honor, but I'm saying this is what she wanted on the piece of paper, and that's what I put on the piece of paper.
It's not just
What
a piece
she
of paper,
asked me
ma'am.
for.
It's a contract.
Okay.
It's not just a piece of paper.
I didn't really look at it as a contract, but Your Honor, I still felt intimidated that if I would not have did the note.
Did you voluntarily write this note of your own free will, ma'am?
At the time, yes, Your Honor. I didn't want any drama.
She didn't force you. She didn't threaten you. She didn't put a gun to your head.
No, Your Honor.
She didn't say, write this out or else. You just, wrote it out.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
I'm going by what's in writing. And what's in writing is, and you've already told me you were not coerced to sign this. You were not forced. You did so voluntarily of your own free will. If you had come in here and showed me a police report and said she put a gun to my head and made me write this out, then we could have a conversation, ma'am. But she didn't do that. You signed this and you wrote this note of your own free will and you promised to pay for your half of the seminar. And I understand after the seminar, when she started calling you, you wouldn't answer your phone. You know how when somebody owes you money, you don't want to answer your phone then.
I did
then you
answer my
change your
phone,
phone
Your
number.
Honor.
Your Honor.
Judgment for the plaintiff, $750. Good luck.
There was no question about it. I mean, it was kind of interesting that someone would try to slander me when they wrote the note themselves.
I feel the judge's ruling was wrong.
An online dater meets her perfect match until money comes up missing.
We met on Plenty of Fish. We were soulmates.
You don't know me, but let's go. We'll go have a good time. I said, you're either ballsy or you're crazy. I thought it was gonna be the weekend. It ended up being like two and a half weeks.
So what happened after that?
I see him and 3 other girls, and they're getting it on.
They were just dancing.
You go to the hotel, charge it on her credit card with her car payment money, and you go upstairs to the hotel, have 3 girls dancing, they're just dancing.
Plaintiff Catherine Munoz says the defendant romanced her and then used her car payment to party. She's suing for stolen money and vehicle impound costs. Defendant Hugh Michael Meredith says he doesn't know because without his knowledge, Catherine pocketed money from his side business.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Munoz versus Meredith.
Thank you, Juan. Catherine Munoz?
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing the defendant Hugh Michael Meredith
Yes, ma'am.
for $4,810. You say he stole money from you and also caused your car to be impounded?
Repossessed.
Repossessed, okay. So I'll let you start from the beginning, but I understand that this is your former boyfriend.
Correct.
Start from the beginning. Tell me what happened, ma'am.
About a year ago, we met on Plenty of Fish. It was great from the first day we met. We were instantly best friends, had inside jokes when we didn't have inside jokes. We were soulmates, or so I thought.
So you met online, and then you decided to meet in person. How long after meeting online?
Maybe a week.
A week after meeting online?
I made first contact.
What did she say when she contacted you, sir?
She said, you look like you should be on the cover of a Sports Illustrated magazine.
Really?
And I said, well, I hope it's not the swimsuit edition.
So this relationship started off on a lie, is what you're telling me. I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
I'm joking.
That's basically,
so that's how she approached you.
Yeah, that's exactly how she approached me.
Where were you living at the time?
I was traveling, doing installations for a company installing cabinets. And
So you were traveling, but were you based anywhere in particular?
I was staying all over Florida, on just about every city, working in different places at a month at a time. And so I decided to come by and I said, hey, listen, I'm going to Miami. You want to go for the weekend?
This was the first time you met?
First time. And came and picked her up about 4 o'clock in the morning.
That's not true. It was like 1 a.m.
Okay, maybe it was 2.
But it was 1 a.m.?
It was 1 a.m.
Okay, but
yeah.
Maybe
the
it
first
was
time
probably
you
like
met,
2.
It was 1 a.m.
Okay, 3 hours difference.
But
you met, he picked you up.
It was in the middle of the night.
That's
and
true.
she was ready to go with a bag packed. I couldn't believe it. I said, you're either, ballsy or you're crazy. You don't know me, but let's go. We'll go have a good time. And I thought it was going to be the weekend. It ended up being like two and a half weeks. She stayed down there with me. So.
It was 1 week.
So I'm just curious, though. So the first time you meet him is 1 a.m. in the morning with your bag packed, ready to go on a trip to Florida.
Yeah, in retrospect, it's a terrible idea.
It was not a bad idea, actually. I told her, I said, look, get rid of your boyfriend that you got over there. Tell him I'm coming in. I'm scooping you up. Get rid of him before I get there.
We continued to date long after Miami.
So what happened after that?
Like he said, he traveled around from city to city. He sometimes stayed for weeks. I work wherever my computer's at. So
what do you do for a living?
I was a graphic designer for a magazine at the time.
So what happened? How did this relationship turn so sour?
Well, after about 6 months of dating, we decided we were going to move in together, and we moved to Chicago. And I had a job offer there. It didn't really work out, and I ended up needing to get a title loan.
A title loan for what?
My vehicle. My free and clear, paid for in 2012 Lexus RX 330. It was either that or become homeless.
Okay.
So, also a very bad idea.
And so what happens?
He'd paid bills for me in the past. I trusted him. There was no reason to not trust him. So I was traveling out of town for work, and I handed him the first payment that was due and asked if he would drop it off at the auto loan place for me.
So you were making cash payments?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. What happens next?
Every other Friday, I hand him the money, or I think he's going to remove the money from the account because he has his own card, debit card.
To what account?
It's my PayPal account, but you can add a secondary card holder.
And tell me what happens with the car payments.
He doesn't make them after the first one. I hand him the money, or he withdraws the money, and he's partying with the money.
Because you say that he was supposed to make how many payments and didn't make them?
There were supposed to be 8 payments, and 1 was made.
It was the understanding that he was getting cash out of that PayPal account to make the payments.
Sometimes I would pull the cash out, sometimes he would. There was 4 where I pulled.
And you're saying he kept the money?
He did, yes.
Did you do that, sir?
I did keep the money, but I was expecting a tax return where I thought that I could just pay it all back. She wouldn't know.
Okay.
But I had a debt from my ex-wife. I had almost $3,000 coming, so they seized that money, and I didn't know they were going to.
What debt? IRS?
The IRS did.
Your tax return, you never got it because that money was seized by the government.
Seized immediately.
So you were short money. And so
I
instead
didn't
of
have the money
talking to
to pay
her and
her
having
back.
a conversation.
I didn't have the money to pay it back when I.
Well, what were you doing at the time when you were pocketing the money and not making the payments? What were you doing with the money?
Tell her.
I was hitting the strip clubs and blowing it.
Coming up, the party gets put on hold.
I follow him to the hotel where he is partying. I see him and 3 other girls, and they're getting it on.
They were just dancing.
No, they weren't.
Plaintiff Catherine Munoz says Hugh used her car payments to party. She's suing for stolen money and vehicle impound costs. Defendant Hugh Michael Meredith says he doesn't know because Catherine is a party girl pretending to be a good girl.
So you were making it rain at the strip club. Is that what you're telling me?
I don't drink very often, and sometimes when I do, I get just a little crazy, and that's why I pretty much quit drinking. So.
How many weeks of crazy are we talking about here, sir? This is seven
3
payments.
3 or 4.
360. I look at 1, 2.
14.
This is happening over the course of March.
14
all
weeks.
the way to June.
Middle June 19th.
March, April, May, and June. This is over a course of 4 months. So, and you led her to believe every single time that you were making the payments for the car.
Yeah, pretty much.
When do you find out that he hasn't made the payments? How do you find out?
Well, in the middle of June, my mom received a letter that I'm not making the payments, and they're going to repossess my car if I don't come up with $2,332 in 30 days.
Okay, so you immediately call him.
I don't call him. I want to know what's happening. So
what do you mean you don't call him?
I call the title loan company, and I ask them, why didn't you call me? Is what my first reaction is. And I find out that he's changed the contact number with the title loan company, and I can't receive the messages.
Is that true? Yes or no, sir?
Yeah, it's true, but I will say this. I had a collection of cowboy boots that I custom.
We're not talking.
She sold some of them. She sold some, and she recouped some of that money.
I don't want to hear anything about cowboy boots. I
Okay.
just asked you one question. You changed her number, so now you're scheming. Now there's the cover up. There's the crime, and then there's the cover up.
No.
Now you're engaging in cover up. Do you confront him and say you haven't been making these payments? Because you found out in June.
Right.
When is the next time you see him? Are you still living with him?
Yes.
So you're still living in this. So you find out you see him that night in Chicago?
I have a, yeah.
So you see him that night in Chicago and you don't say anything to him about it?
Nope.
Why?
I want to see what he does with the money.
She stalked me.
Well, I follow him to the Drake Hotel.
So now you want to investigate. Now you want to start keeping track of things at this point, right?
I have to know.
So what do you do?
I hand him the money. I hand him the money that's due.
Mm-hmm.
I follow him to the hotel where he is partying with 3 girls.
How do you know he was partying with 3 girls?
Well, he got the hotel through Hotels Tonight, which is my credit card, so I pay for that too. And the front desk will give me a key. The room is in my name. And I'm able to just walk in and see it.
So you get a key, you wait until he goes up to the room, then you go get a duplicate key.
Mm-hmm.
And you go and use the key without knocking?
Absolutely.
You open the door and what do you see?
I see him and 3 other girls, and they're getting it on.
Not really. They were just dancing.
No, they weren't.
So they were just dancing.
For the most part, when she came in, they
And
were.
that's okay. You go to the hotel, charge it on her credit card with her car payment money that you were supposed to use to pay the car note, and you go upstairs to the hotel, have 3 girls dancing, and they're just dancing.
Dancing, yeah.
Not a big deal.
Okay, well, I mean, I told her that I asked her if she wanted to hang out and go. It wasn't that bad, really. I mean,
No, it really was. It really
have some other
So
people
you
come over.
see him, and what do you say?
I didn't say anything because I couldn't. I just kind of sat there with my mouth open and my eyes, I'm sure, were like saucers.
Did he see you?
Oh, definitely.
And what was his response?
He didn't respond. He just kept doing what he was doing.
No, I said, come on over.
You asked her to join.
I mean, what else was I supposed to do? I just said, come on over and check this out. I mean, really, well, I'm gonna throw this out here. You can join, or it can be, embarrassing and weird, and the party can end. So I figured, hey, come on in, let's hang out. Let's have a good
Is that
time.
the last time you saw him?
No, it didn't end there at all. I turned around and walked out, and he came home the next day like nothing happened.
Coming up on Judge Faith, did the player get played?
What evidence do you have that she sold your cowboy boots and kept money?
She threatened that she would do it, so I figured that she probably did.
How many cowboy boots, sir?
I got about 50 pair, maybe.
Did you take any cowboy boots?
I would love to take your cowboy boots, trust me.
Plaintiff Catherine Munoz says Hugh seemed like a nice guy until she discovered her money was missing. She's suing for stolen money and vehicle impound cost. Defendant Hugh Michael Meredith says he doesn't know because Catherine took money from his side business.
And so you kick him out.
No, I leave.
You leave
I
and
packed
go
the
where?
car and back to my mom's in Florida.
That was the last time you saw him?
Yeah.
Hold on a second, Your Honor. I did have a collection of cowboy boots. I know I touched on that earlier. And she sold some of them. I don't know how many she sold, but I know that I sell them for, $300, $400, $500. And I don't know how many she sold.
What evidence do you have that she sold your cowboy boots and kept money?
She threatened that she would do it, so I figured that she probably did.
How many cowboy boots, sir?
I got about 50 pair, maybe, give or take, and I'd say she probably sold at least 5 pair, I would think.
How do you know that she's the one that took the cowboy boots? Did you take any cowboy boots?
I would love to take your cowboy boots, trust me. I sold 1 pair on eBay for him. I emailed him the label, he printed it out, and he shipped the boots himself.
Yeah, but I didn't see any of the money, and I'm...
That's the only pair of boots that you sold?
1 pair.
That she's admitting to.
And you want me to see these boots for what reason? You make them?
Yeah, I make them and design them, and then if somebody likes them, I'll sell them, or, you know, I try to get her to put them on eBay, and we were split the money and all, but I never really saw any money from it, so.
And you don't have any proof as to what boots you had, how
I don't
much
really
they
keep
were
inventory
worth.
of them just because it's
Yeah,
like
that's
an
a problem when you come to court and say someone stole your inventory. You don't have proof of what your inventory is.
I mean, I got pictures.
I mean, because I have, here's what I have so far in this case in terms of who has credibility and who doesn't. I have someone in front of me who admits that for months they basically ran a scam on their girlfriend, took the money, instead of paying her car note, you used it to party with strippers, changed the number on the account, used her credit card to go to a hotel room, but now all of a sudden I'm supposed to believe that she took some cowboy boots as inventory from you.
Mm-hmm.
You go back to Florida to your mom's house, and what happens next?
Well, 30 days later, they repossess my vehicle, and I have to come up with $2,332 to get it back.
You have proof you paid that?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see it, please?
There's the.
I'm telling you, y'all meet these people online. You think it's love at first sight. You came in here, oh, he's my soulmate. He's my soul. No, he's a con and a thief. So in August, you submitted proof that you did make a payment to the title company in the amount of $23.32. What happened next, ma'am?
I had to continue paying off the loan.
What else do you say he owes you for?
The money that he took out of the account.
What money? This money?
Well, she owed.
That's not what I was saying.
She owed like $4,000. I took that money out, and that's when she caught me taking it out. I was supposed to be making the payments, so I was taking it. That's what that money is.
So you didn't take extra money out. This is money you're making for the payments to the
that
car.
we've been talking about, yeah.
Okay.
She had to. I guess they accelerated the loan or something, and she had to pay off the additional $2,000 to get it back out because they. I don't know what exactly happened, but.
Okay, so
they
beyond
make you pay the full balance, I guess.
Okay, so all we're talking about here are the payments that I have submitted here, the withdrawals that were made out of this PayPal account, the $360. That's the money that he took, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. 2,800.
Okay, and you wanted to show me what evidence do you have? You wanted to show me some text messages, I understand?
I do. I have screenshots of them.
That's fine.
Scroll right through there.
How can you be so cavalier about doing this? I don't understand.
What am I supposed to really
It's
say?
it's just a complete casual indifference to me that's
We
stunning.
just fought about it for so much.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
So you text her in August, you paid for my parties and you didn't even know it, ha ha. Hope you get to keep your car, but not really. I'll never pay you back. I spent the money on whores. Good luck finding me.
Did I say that?
My God. You have a daughter? You have a daughter?
I do.
How old is your daughter?
2.
Yeah. We can only hope she never meets someone like you. And you write back, you write to her, I'm not proud, but I get abused by women and I've had enough. So this is your payback?
I think I was drunk when I wrote those texts because
Doesn't matter.
I know.
As my grandmother used to say, a drunk man never tells a tale.
I know. I must have been when I said that because I wouldn't normally say something like that.
And then you write to her, I never want to talk to you again. And she writes, goodbye, Michael. All right, so I guess this is goodbye for everyone. Judgment for the plaintiff. Sir, I'm ordering you to pay the plaintiff back the money that you took from her account. $2,332 judgment for the plaintiff.
I feel about the judge's ruling pretty good, vindicated. Happy there's closure for it. It's a chapter in my life I just want it to be over.
Don't get a hotel room and put it in your girlfriend's name so she can't walk in on you.
A falling out over finances turns old friends into enemies.
Everywhere I went, she went. Every time I ate, she ate. Everything that was done, I took care of.
After the accident, I got so verbally abused. My mom taught me not to disrespect people like that.
Why have the two of you allowed a van to come between the two of you? In the grand scheme of things, let's have a little bit of perspective here.
And later, missed rent payments forced these New Yorkers to come to court to collect.
We were on the phone with this lawyer, so she advised us to, if there was any way we could find a way to go into our savings and pay his back rent.
You called a 1-800-LAWYER?
They went behind my back and did that.
They stabbed you in the back and went and paid your rent. How dare they do that?
Plaintiff Deborah Jones says the defendant was transporting people to bingo when she ran her passenger van into a fire truck. She's suing for a wrecked van. Defendant Brenda Kendrick says she doesn't owe any money because for the past 6 years, she's worked for Deborah without getting paid.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Jones versus Kendrick.
Thank you, Juan. Deborah Jones?
Yes, ma'am.
You were suing the defendant Brenda Kendrick?
Yes, ma'am.
For $5,000. Cost you say you had to incur as a result of the defendant having a car accident in your van?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, why don't we start from the beginning? Tell me how you know Miss Kendrick.
I met Brenda, I believe, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and it was during the course of us playing bingo. That's my hobby. That's what I do. And she became like a dear friend to me that I thought. And in the course of this time, Brenda would help me out, you know, around my house and do things, and she would just be there for me. But then last year, 2014, we were heading to the casino, whereas there are some of the older ladies that don't have transportation, so I would, you know, pick them up.
Okay, so you have a van.
Yes, ma'am.
And you would transport people to the casino in your van?
To the bus.
To the bus, to go to the casino.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you all go gamble together.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, you weren't there. You weren't in the van, right?
No, ma'am.
So I'll hear from you. You had an accident in her van?
Yes, ma'am.
You were driving some of the ladies to the casino this time around, and you had an accident. Why don't you tell me how the accident happened?
I had picked up one lady, and I was coming down Jonesboro Road to pick up another lady. And I heard the sirens behind me, but they wasn't close. So I made the left turn, and when I made the left turn, he hit me.
So he had to be close.
He wasn't that close to me.
Were you trying to make the turn and beat the truck so you didn't have to pull over? Is that what happened?
Well, I guess, yeah. I guess so, yeah.
Were you injured?
Just my feelings.
Just your feelings,
Yeah.
but physically you weren't injured? And why were your feelings hurt?
'Cause I never had an accident before.
This is your first time in a car accident? You're still upset about this?
Yes.
Why?
'Cause Deborah Jones is my friend.
I was.
And what?
Well, she was. Well, I thought she was my friend.
Why do you feel she's not your friend now?
'Cause of the accident.
And this has hurt your feelings?
Yeah.
Your Honor, what happened was Brenda became friends with some of my family members, and it got messy. It got real messy.
How so?
They paid the ticket that Brenda got.
No, they didn't.
Then they bought her a ticket to fly her down to Texas so that she could help them out.
Help them out in what way?
I guess she was supposed to have been the nanny or whatever to help them out.
Is there something wrong with that?
I felt like it was planned against me because it was all done behind my back. And when I tried to confront my family and ask them what was going on, everybody was like, hush, hush. So that's why I said it got messy.
And you were on good terms with your family members?
I thought I was.
Coming up, text messages add a twist to the tale of two friends divided.
Forget you ever knew me. That's what you wrote to her.
Because I was ready to really kill her.
Really? Really?
Well, not really, but...
Yeah, let's be thankful you didn't.
And later, a bad roommate gets the boot.
The landlord was not wanting to communicate with me whatsoever.
Everything that Alvin said would not be proven true.
You're either not listening, you don't understand, or you just don't want to know the truth.
Plaintiff Deborah Jones says Brenda drove her passenger van into a fire truck. She's suing for a wrecked van. Defendant Brenda Kendrick says she doesn't know because her friendship with Deborah is over.
What were the damages to the van?
The insurance company had totaled it out.
So the accident was right on the driver's side door of the van. Yeah, you're really lucky you weren't hurt. Why don't you feel you're responsible for any of the damages?
I worked for her 6 years. I mean, that should account for something.
She didn't work for me.
Well, okay, I understand that.
Well, I helped her out for 6 years.
Right, but that doesn't have anything to do with you being in an accident in her van, and now there are damages that she's out of pocket for. But is that the only reason?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Your Honor, the whole time she was there, everywhere I went, she went. Every time I ate, she ate. Everything that was done, I took care of.
For 6 years?
The whole time she was with me.
Okay, and so now why have the two of you allowed a 2007 Chevy pickup van to come between the two of you?
I didn't let the van come between us. She and my family let that come between us. Because like I said, there was no reason that Brenda could not have called me.
Is there any particular reason why you were avoiding her and not just having a conversation with her about this?
She sent me a text message, said, do not get in touch with her, act like I didn't know her. So that's actually what I did.
Do not try to contact me and forget you ever knew me. That's what you wrote to her.
Because
okay.
I was ready to really kill her.
Well, really? Really?
Well, not really, but
let's be thankful. Let's be thankful you didn't. I'm not sitting here looking at a woman who was out to get you. And you say she avoided you the whole time, and I'm telling you, I'm reading the text message where you told her, forget you ever knew me, have a good life. That is really hurtful.
Yeah, but I didn't say forget about my money or forget about getting the van fixed.
I'm just saying, in the grand scheme of things, let's have a little bit of perspective here.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have anything else you want to say?
No.
Why is this so hard for you today? Your feelings are hurt. Why?
She's the only friend that I dealt with for 6 years. And I felt like she verbal abused me to a certain extent. I couldn't take it anymore. That's why I left. And that's the reason why I went to Texas.
Brenda, that's not true.
That's how she feels. That's how she feels.
But that's how she feels, but it's not true.
Stop. See, that's how she feels.
Okay.
It may not be your truth, but it's her truth. This is her moment now to say, get off her chest what she wants to say.
Okay.
After the accident, like a week later, we went to bingo, and I got so verbally abused. Everybody was like, why you didn't curse her back out? And I was like, my mom taught me not to disrespect people like that.
She cursed you out?
Yes.
What did she say to you?
Verbal abused me in front of everybody. And I just didn't say nothing. I just didn't say anything.
Your Honor, is it verbal abuse if I say, if somebody asks what happened, I say, well, Brenda had an accident and tore up my van.
Is that what you said?
Yes.
Is that what you said? I don't think that's what you said.
But I did not cuss her. I did not.
I think you did. I think you did. And that was a week after the accident? Come on now. People have accidents all the time in cars. It's not that big. And this is a week later? So this is not even about her avoiding you and going to Texas at this point. This is just you being a mean girl.
No, I'm not. I'm not mean. In fact, Brenda can tell you, I've never been mean to her. I'm the type of person that Brenda does something, I tell Brenda right then. Brenda is not right. She don't like me telling her, well, maybe my children say it too. It's not the way what I say, it's how I say it.
Yeah, you told her, have a good life. Karma is a bitch. That's what you wrote to her.
It is. But I think that somebody added something else on to that, though.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really? No, I think this is exactly what you text. Is this on Facebook?
Yes. She unfriended me.
And that's
so
when you know it was real, when she unfriended you, right? That's when you know. If I had an accident in one of my friends' cars and a week later they're cursing me out in front of everyone and berating me, I'd pay the money and I'd go my separate ways. I don't need that kind of drama in my life.
Well, I wonder why she's still friends with my sister. My sister tell her all the time. What did my sister tell you, Brenda? How does my sister treat you? What did she say to you? Have I ever called you stupid?
You see how you're talking to her right now? It's crazy.
I mean,
right. I mean, if you're talking to her like that right now, I can only imagine how you act outside of court.
I'm a strong-voiced person.
I'm going to order you to pay the $1,600 that she had to pay in order to pay the van off. You should have had gap insurance, but you didn't. But that's what you're out of. You're also asking for her to pay for the van repairs. I'm not ordering her to pay that because you don't get both. That would be like me having an accident in a car and Juan has to pay me for the damages, but then I decide to go out and get a new car and I say, Juan, I want you to pay for my new car too. That's not the way the law works. So my judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,600. Judgment for the plaintiff.
I'm a person that talks, okay? And I guess I'm very voiceful. And Brenda's just afraid of me. She's really afraid of me. But she's still my friend, you know, I guess.
We're not gonna be friends anymore. I can't deal with the verbal abuse.
Plaintiffs Amanda McHale and Jeremy Lyons say the defendant fell behind on his rent when he lost his job and now is refusing to pay them back. They're suing for unpaid rent and loans. Defendant Stephen Gonzalez says he owes nothing because his roommates paid off his debt and he could have covered his portion of the rent.
Amanda McHale?
Yes.
And Jeremy Lyons?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant Stephen Gonzalez?
Yes.
For $1,900 and $1,850 respectively, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll start from the beginning. Why don't you tell me what's going on, Ms. McHale? We'll start with you.
Okay, so Stephen and I knew each other from work. We were both bartenders, and in July of 2013, I was looking for a new roommate. Both of my roommates were moving out. And
where were you living?
I was living in Astoria, Queens.
Okay.
So I said, yes, okay, let's move in together. We moved in together in July. Everything was fine, rent-wise and living together until the next year, June 2014. He informed me that he was having some financial trouble. He told us that we could send our rent separately for the month of July, which we did, and that he was going to send his separately to the landlord.
That's not correct.
Okay.
I paid half of August because I gave her $400, but at this point, the landlord was not wanting to communicate with me whatsoever.
Why?
Because I don't know, I could not tell you. They only wanted to deal with her.
Do you know why that is?
The landlord was really frustrated because everything that Alvin said would not be proven true.
The only months you're really disputing are July and half of August.
Correct.
September through December, you admit you did not pay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so why are we here? Why are the two of you suing him for unpaid rent?
Our landlord obviously wanted her money. At some point, we called a tenant helpline in New York and spoke to a lawyer who gave us free legal advice.
You called 1-800-LAWYER?
No. It was...
And you were getting legal advice for what reason, sir?
So we had gotten a 5-day rent demand notice on December 2nd. So she advised us to, if there was any way we could find a way to go into our savings and pay his back rent and get him out and get a new roommate, then once all the dust had settled and we were fine where we were, then to pursue him after the fact.
Right, but he has, but he has no money. Even if you get a judgment, how do you plan on collecting from them?
He actually did say that the rent was going to be sent to the landlord by the state. He was getting state assistance.
Is that true?
It was, but then it ultimately got denied because there was other people on the lease at the end.
Okay, go ahead.
We had no idea that it got denied. In fact, for the whole entire time, even up until now, we thought that he was getting state assistance, and we thought that the state was going to send the landlord the money. And he informed us over and over again that the state was putting a rush on it because he was a special case.
Did you tell them that you were a special case?
They told me I was because of emergency needs situation.
Well, you understand you're dealing with the government, so 3 months for them is a rush.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
No, exactly. They rush it, and especially in New York, as many cases as they have.
Coming up on Judge Faith, was the rent paid without permission?
You don't have a court date anymore, right?
Not anymore, no.
Because they paid the rent.
But we had a legal court date where I was going to go dispute that.
I'm not getting through to Mr. Gonzalez. I don't know why.
Plaintiffs Jeremy Lyons and Amanda McHale say Stephen promised to pay them back and never did. They're suing for unpaid rent and loans. Defendant Stephen Gonzalez says he owes nothing because his roommates shouldn't have interfered with his rent payments.
So they paid the back rent.
They went behind my back and did that. I never.
What do you mean behind your back?
Because they went themselves.
They stabbed you in the back.
No, not that they stabbed me.
They stabbed you in the
Your
back
Honor,
and went and paid your rent.
That's not what
How
I'm saying.
dare they do that?
I'm not saying that, Your Honor. I'm saying I was gonna handle this through the court. That's why I would like to show you this.
You don't have a court date anymore, right?
Not anymore, Your Honor.
Because they paid the rent.
But we had a legal court date where I was gonna go dispute that.
Can I see, because I'm not getting through to Mr. Gonzalez. I don't know why. I don't know why you're either not listening, you don't understand, or you just don't want to know the truth. Let me see proof that you told him in advance that you were going to pay this rent on his behalf. How old are y'all, 20, 25?
Yeah.
29, so I know all you do is text.
Yeah.
Your Honor, may I hand you what I have?
On the second
Absolutely. Don't show me anything about that court date you had with the landlord.
Oh, well, that's what that is.
See? I don't need to see that, sir. I don't need to see that. This is a dismissed case. You just insist on me. Let me look at this paper. You insist on me seeing it. Okay, I've seen it. The case has been dismissed. Looking at these text messages starting Saturday, December 20th, you didn't know until December that that this money was being denied to you by the state?
Yeah, because when the
What
case
date
was
in
appealed,
December?
it was right before the Christmas holidays because they were going to be closed.
When? When is right before the Christmas holidays?
I don't have an exact date, Your
Okay,
Honor.
because surely it's before December 20th. And you made no mention of this to them that it had already been decided. They're texting you about your caseworker 4 days before Christmas. You think the caseworker's at work?
No, I wasn't getting any responses.
You knew before December 23rd, sir, the day before Christmas Eve. There's no question in my mind if indeed you went to the state.
Because I was still fighting the decision, Your Honor.
They didn't know that there had been a decision rendered at all based on their text messages. They were relying on your word that you were working on it, that you were getting this money. She's asking you for proof of it, and you don't respond and tell them the truth of the matter is it had already been denied and you were working on appealing the decision. If that's indeed the case, I don't think it is.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
You know, I'm looking at all of the text messages between the three of you, these group messages. They go back for months. And one thing is very clear to me, your roommates were extremely understanding and very nice to you during this entire process, even though they're about to get evicted. I have a lot of young people that come into this courtroom and they're in disputes about money, and I see threatening messages and people are angry and lashing out. They never did that once. They even went and got advice. They went to a free legal service in New York and tried to figure out what to do. And I just want to commend you guys for doing that because I don't see that very often. I'm going to order you to pay what the plaintiffs have proven to me they paid on your behalf, sir. $1,900 judgment for Ms. McHale, $1,850 judgment for Mr. Lyons. Judgments for the plaintiffs.
Stephen is a completely incompetent individual, and he got exactly what he deserved.
I'm happy that we got our money back. That was the issue all along, was that we lost money because he was irresponsible.
I'm glad that we were able to put this behind us, but that's not fair that you're getting more money than what was actually due.